on the campus of Northwestern University. And inside, this country's top gymnasts have gathered to compete for the individual event championships. Lou Retton, the newly crowned women's all-around champion, is here. She's guided by Nadia Comaneci's former coach, the exuberant Bella Caroli. Then there's Mitch Gaylord, the all-around champion 2 years in a row among the men, a master of the high bar. Tracee Talavera, now a veteran competitor in the midst of a comeback in time for the Olympic Games. And Peter Vidmar, he came within a half point of claiming the men's all-around title. These athletes and many more are here to challenge for the title of the best in the United States. We'll start by recapping the men's championships in the first 4 events, and we'll watch Peter Vidmar of UCLA in the floor exercise. Peter likens gymnasts to test pilots in the right stuff, always pushing it to the edge, looking for superior performance by taking it to the limit.
To the limit he does. He does a full-in back out, just great. 1/10 of a deduction at the most. The second pass is a round-off back handspring double back. Nice stand-up, good flip, great landing. Getting ready for a transitional part. Shows a little bit of agility, stooping through, a little flexibility. Watch now, Don. He stays on his fingertips as he does a press through the middle, right to a handstand. Great control.
And much appreciated by the audience.
It sure is. He's right on top of things of what he's doing. He's getting ready for his third pass, the handspring full twisting dive roll. I think a little weak for Peter.
Well, it doesn't look very weak to the non-gymnast.
I think Pete could probably do just a little bit more risk on that third pass. Meets a requirement with a good balance. Gets ready for his dismount, which is a round-off back handspring, double back flip in pike position. Very well done.
Peter Vidmar, tremendously consistent in every event, wins the floor exercise with a score of 9.70. Vidmar also excelled when it came to the pommel horse competition, one of the most difficult events in gymnastics. One where the gymnast must move up and down the entire horse, making use of the entire apparatus, while performing splits and scissors, and that complex of swirling moves requires such great strength and momentum.
Peter does move around that horse. You know, he walks around the horse like you and I would around the backyard. He's into his handstand position, goes into his scissor movements. Good back scissor, 2 in a row. Does 2 forward scissors, picks up and gets into his dismount where he does a circle on the pommel, travels backwards, goes right to a handstand, and cartwheels off to a very good landing.
The judges agree, Rusty. Peter Vidmar is scored at 9.90. It's going to be tough to beat.
Oh, it's a very virtuous routine.
If anybody can beat Vidmar's score, though, it's this man, Tim Daggett, who in the all-around competition on the pommel horse scored a perfect 10.
Maybe a little bit harder in this competition, Don, because there will be 4 judges judging the event. You can see Timmy's right on at the beginning, does back more, all on one pommel. Great scissor work. Excellent half twist. Back scissor. Picks up into his double leg circles, goes down to the end. Now he starts doing a flare across the pommels without using them. Hops to the middle, does a half twist right to a handstand. What a great routine. I don't know if it's a 10, but it was just a neat set.
It's got to be close. Tremendous power demonstrated by Tim Daggett on the pommel horse. An event that as a young boy he found the most difficult. He worked so long and hard at it, it's become his best event. As we watch Tim Daggett on the slow motion replay, his excellence on the horse.
Well, we're seeing Timmy at his best. This is the last half of his exercise. He goes down to the end. He goes into the flares, which he does extremely well. He hops back into the middle, gets ready for his dismount, which is a Stockley half twist right to a handstand. Just a beautiful routine.
It was beautiful indeed, and the numbers are pretty nice to look at, too. They're not perfect, but they're close, a 9.95, and Tim Daggett wins on the horse. What was it Count Basie used to say? You ain't got a thing if you ain't got that swing, and nobody swings quite like the men's all-around champion, Mitch Gaylord of UCLA, ready to go to work now on the ring.
Mitch starts with a Very nice kip. Press right to an inverted. Swings out of the inverted to a unique back kip to an L. Pressing up to the handstand, straight arm, almost straight body. Does the swinging requirement to a handstand, back up rise to a hand. Getting ready for his dismount. Does a half and half out in a pike position and nails it. Great set, Don.
Outstanding it was, and so was the judge's number on 9.90 that gives Mitch Gaylord the championship on the ring. The best vaulter in the United States, maybe as good as there is in the world, is 19-year-old Chris Riegel of the University of Nebraska. In the vault, speed on the approach is vital as they turn horizontal speed into vertical lift, and Chris Riegel hits the vault and sticks a near perfect one. A score of 9.80 gives Chris Riegel the lead in the vault competition. 5 years ago, he wasn't quite this effective. There's Chris Riegel at the National Sports Festival in 1979 on NBC, getting set for a vault that didn't go quite as well as the last you saw.
It's a double front and he over-rotates, but he just has something about him, though. Doesn't he look great on the floor? Got a little charisma.
And now, 5 years later, here is Chris Riegel, one of the world's very best, ready for his second vault.
That will be a half and half out or a full twisting Sukahara. And he nails it right to the ground. It was beautiful.
And for his two vaults, Chris Riegel averages 9.70 to win the event. The first four individual event winners reads like a who's who in American gymnastics. Peter Vidmar, Tim Daggett, Mitch Gaylord, and Chris Riegel. And here is one of America's best, 21-year-old Tim Daggett of UCLA, ready to go up on the parallel bars, an event that requires great strength, and Daggett is a powerhouse in all the strength events.
Tim has an unusual start on the side of the bars. There's a high bar move called a stalder. Goes right back to a handstand and does a giant swing to a straddle cut. Back up rise, straddle cut L. Presses to a handstand. He's done a lot of work below the bars. Now he needs to do some skills on the top. There's a back flip. Front up rise. Hop pirouette. Stutz hand. He just needs to get off cleanly. He's got a great, great routine. Sticks it. Double back.
Sweet words to the gymnast. Sticks it. His landing was without movement, and Tim Daggett's going to score very well in this event, the P-bars.
Oh, he really is, Don. He's hungry. He's probably the hungriest gymnast in the United States right now.
And maybe the most improved. He has really come on. 21 years of age, part of the national championship team this season at UCLA. Tim Daggett looks for the numbers and gets a 9.80, so that'll put him very much in contention to win. He's going to have to beat a teammate from UCLA, though. One of the best on the parallel bars is Pete Vidmar.
Pete mounts with a reverse straddle cut, and then he does a drop peach right to a handstand. Stutz. He comes up with a very unique and original part, a Diamondov out, glide, stoop through the middle, and it does a half turn on the one bar to a V. Presses to a handstand. Pirouettes into the middle. And dismount, double back somersault with a little hop. I don't think he's going to beat Daggett, Don.
But it was a very good effort by Peter Vidmar, and the judges will decide who wins the parallel bars competition. 9.80, so the two U-clans tie for the victory. Tim Daggett and Peter Vidmar. Nobody's better on it than Mitch Gaylord. In the all-around competition, Mitch Gaylord brought the house down with a perfect 10 performance on the high bar, featuring a move called the Gaylord 2. It's coming up now, and it's phenomenal as Gaylord makes it work and gets a perfect score. Mitch Gaylord's coming up in the high bar, but first his teammate Peter Vidmar will perform on this high bar routine. Vidmar may have summed the event up best. He said, you know how it is on amusement park rides where you go at tremendous speeds and loop-the-loop? People want to do it over and over. Well, he said, we do it every day, but not sitting in a ride. We do it with our bodies. This is something.
It really is. Pete has 3 major releases in his routine, and there's the first 2. He just stays right on top of every trick he does. He does great control. Here comes his 3rd release, a front flip, regrasp, kip. There's his giant swing, pirouette. He's getting ready for his dismount. There's a stalder, I haven't seen any errors in the routine at all, Don. He's just right on. Sticks at dismount. Be very close to a 10.
That's going to be a tough one to beat. Peter Vidmar with excellence on the high bar. Congratulated by his UCLA coach Sakamoto. We'll watch him again on slow motion replay.
Well, here's his Baronin heck vault right into his Ginger, which is a flyaway half twist. 2 exciting release moves. He gets ready for his third one by stooping in. This is something that hurts the shoulders, a dislocate, right to an inverted giant, and then flips again to a front straddle regraph.
Peter Vidmar awaits the news from the judges now, and it's good news indeed, a near perfect 9.95. Mitch Gaylord has taken the high bar routine to a new dimension with moves like the Gaylord 2. He's going to attempt it now. It is one of the most spectacular things ever attempted on the high bar.
What is amazing, Don, he does a flyaway with a half twist over the top and whoa! Just over-rotated a little bit too much. His beat was off.
Mitch has 30 seconds to get back up, and while he does, let's watch a replay and see what went wrong.
I would like to see that again. He didn't look like he missed it by much. His beat, flyaway half, over the top, and just was a little bit too far away from the bar. Now
Mitch is back on the bar, using his allotted 30 seconds to get back up. What will that cost him in scoring a fall? Well,
5/10 automatically. I think the interesting thing here is whether he's going to do a pike half in, half out, or a triple flyaway, and we'll see if he's the champion that he really is. Yep, triple flyaway. Fantastic.
So Mitch Gaylord and Peter Vidmar await the judge's ruling. The number comes down. It's a 9.30. One man has a chance at catching Peter Vidmar for the championship. That's Tim Daggett.
Daggett continues to set the record straight. He wants to make it to L.A. He's a great gymnast. He continues to do everything he has to do to score the 10.
Well, he's an athlete who can move up fast. We'll recall earlier on the all-around competition show here on NBC Sports World, Daggett was 10th after compulsories, but with great freestyle performances, he moved up to 4th in the overall.
It's been exciting the entire meet. He's just done another exciting trick right here. It's a flyaway half twist, straddle cut, immediate flyaway half twist. Right on. There's a Stalder hop. Stoops into the dislocate, which is a requirement. He's getting ready for his dismount. If he sticks it, he can score a 10. There hasn't been any errors in his routine.
There might have been a little hitch on the dismount, but overall it was another spectacular showing by Tim Daggett on the high bar, who has been outstanding in this competition from start to finish. He's been just great.
It's been exciting all the way through the meet. Let's just watch Tim attack the bar. He does a flyaway half twist. He stoops in, almost goes to a handstand, and does another flyaway half twist, which is called a Ginger. You know, Don, Tim is just starting to reach his potential.
Tim Daggett and Peter Vidmar share the individual championship in 2 of the 6 men's events. All the performers America's best. We're back at the 1984 US Gymnastics Championships. Ready for the uneven bar competition. Kathy Johnson getting the bar ready. A short time ago, this 17-year-old, Marie Roethlisberger, took the lead with a spectacular demonstration. Marie is the daughter of a 1968 U.S. Olympic gymnast, Fred Roethlisberger.
And Marie is establishing quite a reputation for herself on this event. Giant, reverse hacked. She really attacks the bars.
Very aggressive gymnast you have to be to score with today's judges. The gymnast must be daring and creative with a very simple piece of equipment. The judges look for daring.
Double back flyaway. Marie did a very nice routine.
The judges thought so also, Nancy, as Marie scored 9.85. Now Julianne McNamara goes to the uneven bar. She is one of the best, but really has something to shoot at after Marie's score.
Giant swings. You know, I think the first day Julianne walked in the gym, folks thought this was going to be her strongest event. Good extension. Routine hasn't slowed down. I think she's on a roll here. Nice high cast. Here comes a dismount. Perfect routine.
An excellent show by Julianne McNamara, so adroit as we watch in slow motion at weaving together a series of motions and tricks on the uneven bar.
And watch as she prepares for her dismount. Her rotation as she does the somersault is higher than the high bar. Great amplitude. That's a winner.
It is indeed a winner, Nancy. A judge's score of 9.95 gives the uneven bars competition to Julianne McNamara. Marie Roethlisberger second in that competition. Diane Durham finished third. The balance beam has been called poetry in motion. Others call it ballet on a 2x4. It's a tough event, and here's one of the best, Mary Lou Retton.
Performing earlier, Mary Lou does a good high back somersault. You know, I think it's difficult for a small gymnast to look graceful on this event, but Mary Lou has worked very hard at that. Her dance is improving. She's becoming more consistent.
And her coach is always a very interested spectator.
Sometimes I think it's harder for the coach than the gymnast. They can't get up on the beam and perform the moves.
Now, that's not something I don't think Bella would try.
Good. Double back somersault. And that was a routine they were both happy about.
Crowd and Coach Caroli, and the judges liked it too, awarding Mary Lou a 9.70. She takes the early lead. But that lead only lasted until 15-year-old Pam Bileck got up on the balance beam. A wonderful dancer. She was ready to score.
Pam has beautiful lines as she performs her balance beam routine. She's been training at the Scats Club in Southern California. They've done a wonderful job of choreography in this routine. Good high lift on the gaining back somersault.
That impressed the judges, Nancy. Pam Bileck scored 9.80, and she took the lead. Now we go to Tracee Talavera, the last competitor in the balance beam. A very impressive mount.
Again, more innovation from Tracee. I always love watching her on the balance beam because as a spectator, I don't get nervous for her. She's very calm.
Tracee Talavera has a 9.8 to beat if she's to win this event. Tracee began in competitive gymnastics 10 years ago when she was just 7 years of age. She's tall for a gymnast, Nancy, 5'4", but she uses that to her advantage.
There's another innovation for flair on the balance beam. Each gymnast has to perform some creativity and what we call originality. Tracee has a lot of it. Aerial cartwheel right into a back handspring. A little off, but that's very difficult to do. There's her gaining back somersault.
Tracee Talavera going for the win in the balance beam. Pam Bileck, the best score up to now, at a 9.80.
Preparing for her dismount. So far, it's been a solid routine. Double back somersault. Boy, she nailed that one. That is a typical Tracee Talavera routine.
And one of the biggest ovations of the afternoon is accorded Tracee Talavera. The judges applaud her, too, with a score of 9.80. So Tracee and Pam Bileck high for the championship in the balance beam competition. Still to come, the beauty and excitement of the women's floor exercise. Julianne McNamara just completed her floor exercise, and Nancy, it was a very good one.
It certainly was. You know, after 4 years of being on the national team, I think Julianne looks like she's at her peak right now. Preparing for her first tumbling run, dynamic round-off back handspring, full twisting double back somersault. Goes out of bounds, which is a 10th off, but the rest of the routine was great. Julianne has mastered the ability to show her emotion, her personality. Beautiful routine.
And a very excellent score from the judges, 9.85, giving Julianne the early lead. So Julianne had a tremendous performance, and now a 15-year-old with a wonderful gift of dance, Michele Dussehra, will try to better that. All these athletes refine their talents with hard work, but the world-class gymnasts are born with great gifts of coordination and balance. I think you're really going to enjoy Michele Dussehra with her dance on the floor exercise.
Her routine is a real treat to watch. First tumbling run. Double back somersault in a pike position. The thing that amazes me is that Michele is only 15 years old. And it takes a lot of maturity to dance as well as she does. Here's a triple full. This takes confidence. Michele also trains with the Scats in Southern California. Mary Wright, the choreography coach. Great routine. Preparing for the last tumbling run. Good clean double full. Dramatic ending for Michele.
And a big and well-deserved ovation for this 15-year-old Michele Dussehra in the floor exercise.
Coach Don Peters, pleased with the routine.
So are the judges, a 9.85, so she is tied for the lead with Julianne McNamara. But as always, when Lou Retton's in the field, everybody could be playing for second place. Lou Retton excels at floor exercise as she does in every other aspect of this sport. You can tell she's ready.
One of the things that puts Lou above the other athletes is her tremendous ability to tumble so well. Watch the power she has in each of her tumbling runs.
4 feet 10, 90 pounds. Coach Caroli working the music on top of every aspect of his performer's routine.
You can see the concentration as Lou prepares for her first tumbling run. Pull in, double back out, and no steps on the landing. She's on so far. Watch the way Lou's movements just say to the crowd, come on, join in with me.
She can ignite an arena with her demonstrations.
High double back somersault. Lou also looks in the best physical condition I've ever seen her. Thin, good muscle tone. She's ready for Los Angeles.
She really is.
Bella adjusting the music for her.
I think he's ready for LA too.
Punch, front somersault, high side aerial. That's a good routine. Not a good routine, a great routine. Perfect way to end the competition.
Lou Retton, the supercharged little West Virginian, closing with the flourish to another overwhelming ovation here at McGaw Hall, Northwestern University. One more example of her power,
double back somersault and lands it without any bobbles at all.
Now we await the judges' scoring. Bella's reaction tells it all. Another perfect 10 for the little lady from West Virginia. So again, Mary Lou Retton scores the perfect number, the magic number. A standing ovation is accorded her here at McGaw Hall as the perfect 10 is on the board, and Mary Lou Retton is champion of women's floor exercise. Mary Lou wins 2 of the 4 individual